So today I am here doing the drunk book tag, which is something I'm like super excited to do for some reason. This tag was created by Chelsea Darling Reads and I was actually tagged in it. I mean, I did ask to be tagged in it on Twitter, but she was looking for people to tag, so you know, it's fine. So this is a book tag that is like themed around drinking, just like the questions are like themed around that, but you don't have to drink when you do this tag. You can choose not to. It's not a requirement, but if you want to, you can. I'm enjoying myself some wine. The only wine I like is pink wine, because if it's not pink, then why bother? So this tag has a set of 10 questions that I will be answering, and honestly, a lot of my book choices, like I have the pile down here and it's kind of a basic stack of books, but I'm kind of trying to catch up on reading a bunch of stuff that I've heard that seems interesting, and it's just mostly stuff that's been talked about on BookTube a lot. So there's not a lot of like things you haven't heard about. Like I'm pretty sure you've heard about all of these books. Question 1, wine coolers. You're 16 and you've finally gotten one of your mom's Smirnoff Ices. What is one of your most guilty pleasure reads? I don't really like believe in guilty pleasures, as pretentious as that sounds, but I just kind of like believe in like if you like the thing then you like it, don't feel guilty about liking stuff. But the thing that just like I can't get enough of is just like YA contemporary romance. Normally I'm a like fantasy type of girl, but just like there's something about like a super fluffy, cute, just straight up romance. Just I love it. So a good example of this is like Anna and the French Kiss. I feel like this is like the epitome of like, ooh, hiccups already. I feel like Anna and the French Kiss is kind of like the epitome of like super fluffy romance, because this book is so stinking cute. So this is just kind of like the type of thing that just like I'll turn to every once in a while if I just want to have like a real good time. Number 2, beer. You've finally made it to college and you're hosting your first kegger. Pick your favorite new adult / college age book. I really haven't ventured into the world of new adult yet, and a lot of the books I read don't take place in college because college doesn't exist a lot in fantasy. This book, I'm not sure if it classifies as a like college age book. I think it's more of like a YA book, but it does take place in college and it is my favorite book ever. That is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I'm picking this because Kath's experience in college, like starting out in college, was a lot like mine. Like we were both scared to go to the dining hall because we didn't know how it worked. I'm gonna pick this as like my favorite like college setting book. Question 3, Tequila. You partied too hard and had too much Jose Cuervo. What is a book you never want to see again or your least favorite book? First note, I've never had tequila before. And out of all the stories I've heard, probably a good thing. This book is probably a little bit controversial because I know a lot of people love this series and like love this author, but it's gonna be City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I didn't like this book. I struggled through this book a lot. Thought it was dumb and like weird, that whole like Clary and Jace thing. Like, are they siblings? Are they not? Who knows? That's probably cleared up later in the series, but I just have like no interest in reading The Mortal Instruments at all. Also, the movie was terrible. And 4, Beer Bong. What is a book that you read super fast? I'm going to pick a classic. I'm going to pick The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. And there's like a story with this. So I feel like The Hunger Games was a series that like really got me back into reading. I found out about it after all the books had came out. They'd already been out for a while, but it was still before the movie was like even being thought of coming out. I read this book in like a day and I had to immediately buy the next 2 on Amazon, but the thing is that the 3rd book came before the 2nd book, so I had to wait like a few days in between because Amazon was just doing something weird and I didn't get it as quick as I needed it to me. But The Hunger Games I just like devoured and loved within like a week. I think I read each one of these in a day, and I would have read them like 3 days in a row, but Amazon was preventing me from doing that. Question 5, spring break. You've thrown your inhibitions to the wind and you're having a sexy night nobody will forget. What is your favorite smutty read? Literally, I have no answer to this. I really haven't like ventured in to that kind of book. My mom would always call them trash novels. Just like kind of those like romance, mass market romance paperbacks that just like, that's all they're there for, is like, it's got like Fabio on the cover. I haven't really ventured into that type of book. Anything that I've read in any sort of vein like that would just be, let's be honest, fan fiction. Question 6. Screwdriver. What is the most twisted book you've ever read? Again, I feel like this would like go into the thriller / like horror genre, but I don't really read anything like that. And this might not be the first book that you think of, but I just finished this book and there's a thing in it that just like threw me through a loop. And that's Everything Everything. And I'm not going to talk about exactly why, but there is a twist in this book where I was like, that's super dark. So it seems like a lighthearted thing. There's a thing in this book where you're just like, WTF, that's real messed up. Question 7, Long Island Iced Tea. What is one of the most diverse books that you've ever read? The Sun is Also Not a Star. That is both of Nickelodeon's books in this series, but I love this book. We're getting to that point where I can't form coherent thoughts anymore. I feel like this is the most like standout diverse book that I've read recently. There's like no white people in here. I definitely want to read more diverse books, but I feel like The Sun Is Also a Star was a really good place to start out. Question 8. What is a book that just did not live up to the hype? So I picked Heartless by Marissa Meyer. And I don't know if there was a lot of like hype around this. I didn't really hear a lot of people talking about it, but I know personally I was super excited to read this because I am like Lunar Chronicles trash. I love the Lunar Chronicles, so I was really excited to read something else from Marissa Meyer, but I just did not love it as much as the Lunar Chronicles. Number 9, wine. You've gone through a rough breakup. You get into bed with some ice cream and a bottle of wine and you just cry. What is a book that makes you cry and feel all the feels? I am going to pick We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This book surprised me on how much I cried during it. It's such a slow build up where just like by the end I was crying and I was like, why am I crying so much? Like a second ago I wasn't feeling anything, but then just like the weight of like everything that's happened to the main character and to like the people in this book just like hits you, and it just like it's like just slowly building up, and then once you get to the reveal you're just crying. There was just so much like sadness and heartbreak in this book that it was so emotional by the end, and I just kept on thinking about it and I was like, wow, that was so good, and just so good. So good. Made me cry so much. And number 10, Strip Club. What is your favorite naked hardback? I have a lot of paperbacks. I don't have a lot of hardback. This one was hard because out of the hardbacks that I do have, a lot of them are actually really plain. I mean, Heartless is like a beautiful book. Like, this book is just like, it's super pretty, but I didn't like it that much, and I also used it for another question. So this gets like honorable mention. I think the book that I'm gonna end up going with is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. This book is like super simple. So the color is like really nice and vibrant, and then you've just got like these silhouettes of Simon and Baz, and it's just like really pretty, and just the writing on the side is really fun. But the thing I really like about this is the end pages. So you've got the map of Watford just like printed on the end pages, and it's just super great. I love it, and this book is super cute and super fun. So I'm gonna pick this as my favorite hardback. So for this tag, the way that you tag people is to play Never Have I Ever, and on Chelsea's Never Have I Ever, I've only done one of those things. I've been to an author signing, is what she said, because I've been to a few. So the one person I'm going to tag is Possibly Literate, because I really like her channel and I feel like she would have some good answers to these questions. I don't know if she drinks, but you don't have to if you don't want to. This tag, I mean, it's just a regular tag. I mean, you can drink if you want to, but you really don't have to. These are going to be my bookish Never Have I Evers, so if you stumble across this video and you want to do this tag and you want to know how many people to tag, then how many of these things that you've done will determine how many people you have to tag. Does that make sense? So, number 1, never have I ever been to a YouTube convention or a like big book event like BEA or BookCon or like YALLFest or something like that. Never have I ever asked for a advanced reader copy from a publisher. Never have I ever drank alcohol when I was in high school. First time I had a drink was the week before I turned 21. Number 4, never have I ever made an unhaul video. And number 5, never have I ever drank tequila. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to see more bookish, fun videos from me. Of course, if you'd like to do this video, I included all the questions down in the description below. I linked everybody that I tagged, and I also linked Chelsea's channel because she's super awesome and like one of my like new favorite booktubers, so yay. That's all I've got for you guys today. I'm Christy Lou. Till next time, matane!